Why does a skateboard need Wi-Fi?
Why the Fi not?
Don't you know, baby? Child, don't you know, baby?
What just happened?
Everybody in the bouncy house.
2:30 in the morning. I've watched the Tom and Jerry movie, and I think I hate everything? I think I hate everything now. So the Tom and Jerry movie is the newest release from Warner Brothers in theaters and on HBO Max. And so what's this about? This is a feature-length adaptation. Tom and Jerry hasn't been one since, what, 80s or 90s, some date like that. There's been several DVD releases, like me, Willy Wonka, Wizard of Oz, the WWE, I think. I don't know. I don't care. This, meh. But this is the first serious attempt at bringing Tom and Jerry to the big screen. This was directed by Tim Story, who I'm pretty sure his one claim to fame is Barbershop. Then he made the Fantastic Four movies from the early 2000s, quality cinema. The ride-along movies, also quality cinema. The recent Shaft movie, no idea if that's good or not, I don't really care. And now it's come to this. Oh, buddy, just no. The film stars Chloe Grace Moretz, Michael Pena, Rob Delaney, Colin Jost, and Ken Jeong. And the story of this is surprisingly, now I know this is going to surprise you in this world of Smurfs movies and things like that, but this movie is not really about Tom and Jerry. No, my friends. This movie is about Chloe Grace Moretz's character, who is currently in between jobs and stumbles about this hotel that's about to plan this giant wedding. So she's like, oh, I'm just going to steal this poor woman's job so that way I can have a job myself and just help make sure the wedding goes okay between these two very rich, very beautiful people. And yeah, there's a cat and mouse there. They sometimes hate each other with things. That's about the plot. I hate this. I hate it all. I really hate this movie. Like, I've not seen a kids movie, like a recent kids movie, this bad since Doolittle. Now, if you've seen Doolittle, you know that's a bad movie, but it's a mysteriously fun kind of bad.
What just happened?
This is the most generic, boring, safe kids movie kind of bad that you can imagine. If you've seen either of the live-action Smurfs movies, then you know exactly what you're going to get into. You're barely going to get any of the actual title characters. The humans you're not going to give less than two flying fucks about. And, yeah, any hope of joy or happiness from this is non-existent. Yes, you will suffer. Your kids will suffer, and you will pray for the end. This movie is quite terrible. Now, I'm going to list off the, three positive things. I don't know if it's actually three. The animation, is good. It's consistently good. Not going for, a highly detailed, kind of Lion King thing, but rather staying true to the style of the cartoon. That's good. I like that. That's succinct. That's different. Every single animal in this movie is the same, so it's consistent throughout. So that was good. Chunks of slapstick whenever it actually appears in this hour and 40-minute movie, because it's maybe in 2 minutes of the entire movie, is decent. Nothing great, and I think that's just because you have cartoon physics in live action, and I'll get more into that later. And there was actually one funny joke, and it was this.
He can sing!
He's a fraud! He's a regular cat playing the piano!
Man, I want my money back.
That was the high point, people. And that was at the this minute mark. We're in trouble. Now, these actors, I like them. They have appeared in good things before. Chloe Grace Moretz, she is a great actress. I loved her in the Kick-Ass films. Her recent movie, Shadow in the Clouds, was good. Kicked ass in that as well, so that's great. Michael Pena, fucking hilarious in so many things. Rob Delaney, Deadpool 2. How could you not love him in that? Ken Jeong, how do you make him unfunny? This is a prime example of how you make Ken Jeong unfunny. And Colin Jost, he's decent on Weekend Update. This was definitely not the film to launch his film career, and I'm willing to bet that he was hired just because they were filming this in New York, and he was there. That can only be the reason. None of them are given anything remotely funny or interesting to do in this. I hate all the characters. None of them are written with any kind of humanity about them. They all just suck. And for a kids movie, I'm honestly shocked. Why were they all written so terribly? And at the end, when things like go all good and happy-go-lucky again, because you know that's gonna happen, there's no point in me saying spoilers. You don't give a shit. It's the Tom and Jerry movie. Like, you don't care because the film doesn't give you a reason to care. The plot is uninteresting in every sense of the word. The characters are cookie cutter, just boring ass, just terrible people. And just, I hate them. I hate them. I hate this movie. I hate it all. Now, Tom and Jerry, when they appear, like, if you've seen the cartoons, you know how they are. So, like, there's really nothing exciting or different about it. And just, like, they work in, like, a 5-minute cartoon, but in an hour-and-a-half movie, you really can't get it to work unless it's, like, fully animated. Like, even those, like, straight-to-DVD movies, like, get it somewhat right because, like, they are, A, the main focus, B, it's animated so they can do a lot of stuff, and C, the slapstick works because of animation. So, but putting them into live action, it doesn't work. And putting them into a whole movie, you're not going to get a whole lot of plot with Tom and Jerry. So trying to form a plot around it, yeah, no, it sucks. It's just bad. Now, something that really irked me about this movie was the fact that it was live action. I hate turning cartoons like this and the Smurfs and so many others into live action. There's no point. What do you gain from it besides just getting celebrities? You can get celebrity voice cameos. And guess what, Hollywood? Kids really don't care if their movies have celebrities or not. They really don't care. And I know you're trying to pander to the adults that had to take their kids, but also, they had to take their kids no matter what, so you really don't need to pander to them. And just, this is a very physical kind of comedy that Tom and Jerry does. Like, the amount of brutality and the amount of violence that happen in all these cartoons, where it's such an insane cartoonish degree that trying to translate into live action wouldn't work. But they try! And it doesn't really work that much. Sometimes there's chunks that can work. But overall, it feels very awkward and very out of place to see these cartoonish characters trying to deliver the same kind of violence in a real world. It really doesn't work. When you see it, like when there's like animal twisters happening, because yeah, that's a thing apparently, it doesn't work in the slightest, and it feels very weird. What are the ramifications of this world for having animals that are cartoons? Like, we see them go to like a fish market and like all the fish there are cartoonish fish. I have so many questions that I don't care about, but also just why? Why? Oh, this movie's breaking me. I was not expecting much. I really wasn't. This was not a Pixar movie. This wasn't a quality DreamWorks movie. I wasn't expecting much, and somehow I got less. How does that happen? How do I expect nothing and somehow get less? I'm very confused. Like, what? There are kids' movies that I have my problems with, like Lion King remake, that's off the top of my head. Like, it is definitely not a good movie, but good God, I would take it over this any day of the week. Because at least that tried in some areas. Who was this made for? People that like the cartoon, they're going to hate this because it's not the cartoon, and any resemblance to the cartoon isn't going to matter. It's not made for kids because the plot and characters are so uninteresting, and the lack of physical violence in it is not going to entertain them. And this isn't for adults because there's no humor in it that the adults would like or would even get. Like, what is this joke?
I need you to understand the sensitivity of this matter.
Yes.
If a picture of this mouse is tweeted up to Instabook Face or the TikTok, we will be ruined.
What was that? Who was that for? And, like, who was this made for? I don't understand. Like, I get Warner Brothers that, like, you know, you have this IP and it's been successful for, like, several decades and you want money. Like, I get it. I want money too. But, you know, I don't just have the billions of dollars just to throw at anything. If you have this kind of money, why not throw in some effort? Hire writers that are good and get a director that's made consistently good things and not things that really aren't that good. Seriously, have you watched those Fantastic Four movies? They're not that good. Right On movies also, not that good. Why was he hired? I don't know. Why does this movie exist? I don't know, besides just making money. Yeah, this movie is pretty terrible. Like, why do we not put more effort into our kids' things? We say we want more effort, but then Hollywood keeps giving us this garbage and we keep accepting it. Like, why do we treat kids like they're idiots? Like, I get, like, you know, you want your kids to shut up for an hour and a half, but this is not the way to do it. Like, you should demand more from your kids' movies, even if you're an adult. Like, kids, like, should be challenged without even knowing it. There should be entertaining things happening, not just, there's things on the screen, that's all you get, kids. Like, there has to be more to that. Like, you have to realize this, Hollywood. Like, stop giving us crap like this and start giving us more stuff like Pixar. Even DreamWorks, who still makes stuff like The Boss Baby, like, still, like, makes consistently good things. They might try making a sequel to Boss Baby. Oh, yeah, that's a thing. But that's a story for another day. But, like, they try. This, I don't know what this was. This seems like this was made by the same people that made the first Angry Birds movie and the Emoji movie. Like, what the hell, man? Yeah, the Tom and Jerry movie is bad. If you have HBO Max, do not watch it. If you're going to the theaters to see it, do not watch it. Yeah, no, don't punish your kids this way. Just, there's better and more effective ways to punish your kids than this. Just don't. I'm going to give the Tom and Jerry movie a 3 out of 10. Yeah, this was hard to get through. It felt like longer than Return of the King, and yet it was only an hour and 40 minutes. Why are the Bad Kids movies, like, somehow longer than Return of the King? Can someone figure out the science behind this? I really would like to know the science behind this. Like, this hurt. This just, like, physically hurt. Okay, if you watched it, tell me why, and tell me what therapist you're going to see, because I might need to talk to them. Subscribe for more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go cry now. Okay, peace.